Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. And today we're going to be playing 40k Rogue Trader. Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. The Alpha. Now, normally, I don't get really involved in alphas. Maybe if it's like a really hyped, multiplayer game or something that I might give a try. But especially for like RPGs or something like that, I'm patient. I'm content to wait for the full release. But this one's a bit of an exception. The folks over at Owlcat Games were kind enough to provide an alpha key, which I don't think I've ever said on this channel before. And so there's kind of some special circumstances going on here. And needless to say, I think it's pretty important that I do play through this alpha. And I did fire it up originally and clicked a new game, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Can I record this? And I went online. It seems like there's no NDA whatsoever. You're free to share whatever. And, I'm in like the Owlcat community Discord, which is pretty private. And there's some people in there that have been posting YouTube links to their playthroughs of Rogue Trader. So needless to say, it's fully allowed. And so I actually started up recording a video a couple days ago, and I got through the character creation or what there is of it, and like the opening dialogue you're thrown into. But then as soon as I got control of my character, my whole computer crashed. Just restarted. So that's not good. That's alpha, I suppose. And it could be a problem with my setup. I'm not sure exactly. So then I went in, new game, sped through all the creation, dialogue, got back control of the character, walked around a bit, and didn't crash. So I don't know. Let's hope for the best. So all right. So this is an alpha. I don't know exactly how much gameplay there is in this alpha. I think there's a sizable chunk. As in, this will be more than a couple videos. And they kind of just throw you right into the game. You do not start at the beginning of the game. And they also don't really explain a whole lot of things related to the setting of 40k. So I'll do my best to kind of walk you through it. I'm going to assume you know the very basics of 40k. As in, it's set in the year 40,000. In space. A lot of space and aliens and stuff. So we are going to be playing a rogue trader, which is kind of an odd aspect of the lore. I think it's a concept that was created specifically because 40k is a game. I mean, it was, the first tabletop RPG for 40k was Rogue Trader, I believe. And so I don't know if Rogue Traders existed in like the lore before that point, but that was pretty early on. So I feel like it was just kind of created as a way to have a group of players kind of traverse the universe. So it's kind of gamey in that sense. Basically, they are individuals that have been granted a warrant of trade by the Imperium. And these allow the rogue trader to have a ship and a crew and all that, and basically traverse the stars. They can go outside of the Imperium's bounds, which is normally not really allowed, and they can explore and conquer new planets or colonize planets if they want. They can even fraternize with alien civilizations, and they're allowed to do trade with them, or whatever they want. Essentially, they're allowed to do anything they want, as long as it is in the best interests of the Imperium of mankind. That's the one catch. Because if they're kind of caught doing something in their own best interests that are not in the Imperium's interests, then they could be accused of heresy or treason or things like that and basically, executed. So they operate in a very sticky position where they're kind of out of the bounds of the Imperium, but not really. And they have a lot of suspicion heaped on them because they're doing things that no one else is allowed to do, and in fact most people believe is just wrong. And so they're kind of constantly on that edge of heresy and treason and stuff like that. These kind of individual pioneers. Needless to say, very good concept for a CRPG. Because the CRPG where you're just like a commissar in the Imperial Guard, it's not going to be super interesting or diverse or anything like that as far as like your crew. But yeah, Rogue Trader can have quite the eclectic group with them, which you kind of see at the start of the alpha here. So all right, we're gonna play as a female on normal difficulty. All right, and the setting for this game is the Coronis Expanse. And we are aboard the Von Valancius flagship. Sorry, I'm just getting over a cough. I really wanted to record this, though. So we have here a dossier on our player character, which was compiled and processed in the order of the most gracious Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius. The candidate satisfies the I couldn't pronounce this the first time, and I still can't. Consanguinity criteria. Bears kinship to the Lord Captain in the 7th degree from my dynastic offshoot in the Scaris sector. So the warrant of trade is hereditary. It passes down through your family to form a rogue trader dynasty. So all this really is saying is that we are related to the Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius, and so that makes us viable as a candidate to become the new rogue trader, which tells you that Theodora has died. Our occupation before requisition: a void ship captain in the Imperial Navy, an officio prefectus commissar in the Astra Militarum, or the leader of an unspecified criminal organization. Data expunged due to reputational considerations. So a void ship is basically like a deep space vessel for the Navy. They go out into the real fringes of space, far from imperial space. A commissar is basically an officer in the Imperial Guard. They are the sort of leaders of platoons of troops meant to keep them in line and stop them from retreating, otherwise they get shot in the back. They're not very well liked in general. They have a strong reputation of just being really brutal and pissing off their platoons and stuff, and then getting, what do they call that? What is that term for when, like, your own troops kill you? Like, I want to say ganked, but that's not what it is. I don't remember. But yeah, they have a strong reputation of getting killed. Caiaphas Cain is the most famous commissar who very much bucks that sort of trend for his own reasons. And then a leader of an unspecified criminal organization. So each one of these gives you some sort of care gen stuff. So a couple of these give weapon skill. This one gives ballistic skill. We see things like willpower, coercion, agility, persuasion, awareness, fellowship. Let's be the void ship captain. Planet of birth and circumstances of early life. Imperial World Volurus 6. Markedly loyalist upbringing, developed leadership and diplomatic skills, in-depth knowledge of Imperial history and culture. Feudal world, Fort Kamgarat. Primitive cultural environment, notable physical and athletic attributes, heightened awareness of surroundings. Forge world, Temakriok 5, Adeptus Mechanicus planet, strong intellectual and endurance capabilities, profound knowledge of sacred tech and Medicae skills. Or Fortress world, Koratsura Major, militaristic planet on the edge of the Imperium, basic combat training with a Medicae course and additional instruction in demolition. So, like I said, it doesn't really explain a lot of things to you. It just kind of expects you to know what the Adeptus Mechanicus are, and, what the Imperium is, and things like that. It just sort of throws you into that. So again, each of these kind of has different bearings on your character, and it picks your class. So this is a leader, a fighter, an adept, and a soldier. I like the Mechanicus, and I like the idea of the adept, focused on skills and single target damage. So let's go with the Forge world. At the Lord Captain's request, the most significant episode in the candidate's biography that demonstrates her personal qualities and performance under pressure has been highlighted. Based on the collected data, this is an uprising of the 8th city on the hive world Castus Primus, an attack by a pirate armada on the pleasure world Lacura Cove, or a major criminal incident involving void ships assigned to the Astra Militarum. So we're going to go with the major criminal incident, because we were a void ship captain. While the details have been expunged from the archives, the fragments of information that remain make it possible to reconstruct an account of these events. Evidence indicates that one of the Astra Militarum regiments was using Imperial Navy vessels assigned to it in order to ship contraband cargo. The void ship under the candidate's command was among those being used to transport contraband cargo. When the candidate learned of the unlawful operation, she sent out invitations to a fictitious officer party in order to lure everyone involved in the crime to a single bay, and then triggered the depressurization procedure, which was later attributed to a glitch in one of the ship's cogitators. So basically just executed everyone involved. Or used her position to arrest the culprits and brought them before a tribunal, disregarding the complex hierarchical relations between the Astra Militarum and the Navis Imperialis. A bit more law-abiding than just a straight-up execution. Let's go with that. Notable qualities exhibited when acting in difficult or ambiguous circumstances: will to command, intolerance of sin in others, willingness to break commonly held rules. The qualities exhibited are deemed to be valuable and desirable in a potential successor to the Lord Captain. The candidate's profile has been deemed worthy of submission to the most gracious Lord Captain for further appraisal. With regard to the requisition of the candidate from her current position to serve the needs of the illustrious von Valancius dynasty, the final decision rests with the most gracious Lord Captain. So, to go from being a captain of a void ship to being a rogue trader is quite a leap, but it can certainly be an appealing one. For one, a rogue trader is pretty high up in the sort of hierarchy of power. They're pretty much outside of the normal system, much like Space Marine chapter masters and inquisitors and stuff like that. So they're kind of on that level. They still have to kind of answer to somebody, the High Lords of Terra and stuff like that. They can still be executed, or they can have their warrant of trade revoked or things like that, but they are pretty high up. And obviously they have an absurd degree of independence where, they can choose to just do whatever they want when they're out there, as long as, Okay. So this is a recap of basically what I believe occurred in the first chapter of the game. So we're kind of going into the second chapter, I think. Several weeks have passed since the day Theodora von Valancius perished. On that ill-fated date, the rogue trader's void ship was attacked by madmen hungry to capture the dynasty's prized possession, the warrant of trade. Fortunately for the thousands of lives who depend on the protection of their mistress, Lady Theodora's heir and the now ruling von Valancius, Lady Rogue Trader fought off the villains and protected the dynasty's sacred relic. In her efforts to carry out Lady Theodora's last assignment, Rogue Trader came up against a monstrous plot, which ultimately led to the death of the imperial world Rykad Minoris. By the God Emperor's will alone did the Rogue Trader escape with her life when Rykad's star mysteriously vanished, leaving cold darkness in its wake. One last desperate push, and the Empyrean's mantle hid the fleeing souls from the pursuing enemy. However, testing trials still lie ahead. After several weeks in the warp, the Rogue Trader found herself on the fringes of her trade empire, amidst scattered worlds now lost in the cold void at the whim of the roiling warp. The Lord Captain must forge new routes to planets conquered in the past and fulfill one of the covenants of the Warrant of Trade, to restore that which has been lost. So, if you play like the tabletop RPG of Rogue Trader, more than likely, you're going to be like a small time Rogue Trader. You're going to have a small kind of like Firefly sort of ship. If I mean, you can do all sorts of things. Obviously, it's an RPG, but that I think that's the most likely sort of scenario. You're not going to necessarily have a trade empire, but for this game, and obviously in the lore, you certainly can have rogue traders that are pretty big time. We have this massive void ship, and we have a whole trade empire that we need to kind of reclaim here. And I think they've done that because, based on their previous games, Kingmaker and Wrath of the Righteous, they kind of liked having that managerial side mechanic going on. So I can definitely see that being a big part of the game. Lord Captain, allow me to report. Our journey through the warp is coming to an end. Lady Navigator Orcelio informs me that we have reached the point where we can translate to real space in the Furibundus system. The Lady Navigator and her pilots are awaiting your permission to begin the process. So, it does now bring up, various terms that, pop up. And you can get some more info about them. Such as your navigator, who is a mutant whose genes allow them to safely traverse the warp space. And, yeah. The Furibundus system is home to Footfall, the only Imperium outpost with a functioning wharf in the Coronis Expanse. The tech priests are begging you to have mercy on the machines worn down by the warp, and to allow the servants of the Omnissiah to heal the void ship's wounds in the dock. The prayers and rituals will take a few days, which our astropathic choir will use to establish connection with the prime worlds of your trade empire, Dargonis, Janus, and Kiava Gamma. Alright, so we have 3 prime worlds in our empire, already. Obviously, we've inherited those, but yes. We have already received a message that was previously adrift in the Immaterium. Master Zachary Weiss has reported receiving an invitation. The Liege of Footfall humbly requests an audience with the rogue trader of the von Valancius dynasty. According to Master Zachary, the message was tinted with shades of pleading. I quote, apparently the Liege is anxious to meet as soon as possible. So the ruler of this Imperial outpost, Footfall, is very anxious to meet with this rogue trader. And he doesn't know that the previous rogue trader has died. Footfall, the place where sin and sanctity go hand in hand. Reverend Hieronymus Doloroso will most likely expect a visit from me. I imagine he will be interested in talking to you as well, rogue trader. So this woman, Argenta, is apparently a sister of battle. One of the Adepta Sororitas. which if I recall is sort of the militant arm of the Imperial Ecclesiarchy. I'm just going to confirm. Part of this playthrough is just kind of a lore recap. Yep. The all-female division. Yeah, okay. So they are basically the Games Workshop's answer to why are there no female Space Marines? And they're like, well, there's never going to be any female Space Marines, get over it. But hey, here's a whole female group. And they are pretty badass. They are certainly badass. And they've kind of... There's actually... they have a continually increasing presence in like 40k games and media and things like that. They are not trying to like sequester away the Sisters of Battle. So I think it's pretty cool. I will be leaving your void ship when we arrive on Footfall, Rogue Trader. Once that is done, consider the Lord Inquisitor's task complete. Now, I don't know what this guy is. Clearly he's a part of the Inquisition. I don't know if he's an Inquisitor himself or just one of like his subordinates. But before I leave you, Rogue Trader, Heinrichs produces a small device wrapped in velvet. I was supposed to deliver this to Lady Theodora, but considering the circumstances, I am giving it to you. This is an elucidator, a sacred machine that can translate the languages of distant and lost worlds to Imperial Gothic. It is even capable of handling Xenos languages up to a point. There may be flaws in translation, but the overall meaning should be clear. That seems pretty useful. Are you leaving us, Heinrichs? The arrangement between the Lord Inquisitor and your predecessor was that I be transported to Footfall and no farther. I dare not take advantage of your generosity and patience any more than I already have, Rogue Trader. Argenta, who is this Reverend Hieronymus who wants to talk to me? He is the head of the Drusian mission on Footfall and one of the most prominent clergymen in the sector. Paying him a visit is a good thing for any loyal servant of the Emperor to do. Argenta lowers her eyelashes. I assisted his mission before I joined Lady Theodora on her voyage. I need his blessing to accompany the new rogue trader of the Von Valancius dynasty. If you wish to have me aboard your void ship, I request that we meet with Reverend Hieronymus. Vigdis, tell me about the system we're arriving in. Furibundus is valuable due to its close proximity to the Maw, the gateway to the Imperium. The system is mostly known for Footfall, the main base for merchants, privateers, and rogue traders traversing the Coronis Expanse. Additionally, the star itself is orbited by an Adeptus Mechanicus station, which is off-limits to outsiders. Okay, so the Coronis Expanse is just, you know, one of those frontier sections of space. Exactly where we rogue traders thrive. Altar Templum Calixus Ext 17. I had the honor of tending to this shrine for a few thousand cycles. I suggest you abstain from visiting it, as most tech brothers at the station are engaged in meditative calculations that should not be interrupted. Yeah, I kind of doubt it. There's some juicy stuff there, certainly. You know, the Mechanicus are kind of secretive by nature. You know, they don't always play super nice with everything that the Imperium represents, you know. So they tend to do some things in secret. What do I need to know about Footfall? It is the largest port in the trading capital of the Coronis Expanse. It has a dockyard that will allow us to inspect and repair the Void Ship, and it boasts its own astropathic choir, the Coronis Expanse Communications Nexus. Not to mention pirate hideouts, smuggler caches, and forts belonging to a dozen gangs, groups, and factions. In the Coronis Expanse, the Imperium relies on this as its outpost. The fringes of humanity's domain rarely resemble its central worlds, but so long as Footfall serves the God Emperor, insofar as it can, it will be considered a citadel of the Imperium. Although I have heard that the tithes it sends are underwhelming, to say the least. Due to Footfall's remoteness, it has developed its own rules and customs. Many of the goods that can be procured there would be considered heresy in the heart of the Imperium, enough to warrant summary execution. Moreover, Footfall is the domain of the rogue traders, who disregard certain Imperial laws by virtue of the warrant they bear. Footfall is just a brief stop. What next? As soon as we solve the issues plaguing the ship and establish contact with the key worlds of your trade empire, the time will come for your Magnae Accessio, the official ceremony of donning the mantle of the rogue trader. It is mostly a formality at this point. You already possess all the privileges granted by the warrant, and yet it is a major milestone in your personal history, the moment your name graces the list of heads of the Von Valancius dynasty. We are all looking forward to that day, Lord Captain. Abelard, do you know anything about the Liege of Footfall? Vladeum Tokar is a very peculiar young man. Consider your upcoming conversation a baptism of fire in Footfall's political arena. Such things are not spoken out loud, but Liege Tokara is the appointee of the Kazbalika Mission, the largest robber baron crime syndicate in the Calixus sector. They specialize in the cold trade, the buying and selling of all kinds of Xenos rubbish. Footfall was previously run by a liege who did business with several criminal factions at once, but he suffered an accident. The reins of power were picked up by Vladeum Tokara, whose appointment benefits not only the Kazbalika, but also their most powerful ally in the Coronis Expanse, rogue trader Caligos Winterscale. Oh, God. Vladeum is a slippery yet very cautious fellow. He does not usually beat about the bush and does not play mind games. Perhaps more importantly, he is no fool. Fools do not rise this high in the Kazbalikan hierarchy. Keep all this in mind. You are a rogue trader. You stand above him in status and wield considerable power. Having said that, history has seen cases where the Kazbalikan barons crossed swords with rogue traders and emerged victorious. Do not forget that and remain vigilant. The Kazbalika, vile tech thieves. Baskal's Vox barks out the last word like a profanity. Why does the liege want to see me so badly? Not you personally. He wishes to meet with the rogue trader of the Von Valancius dynasty. Tokar does not know about Lady Theodora's death, and is simply seeking an audience with the powers that be. My gut is telling me that something must be very wrong on Footfall if our astropath managed to read such strong emotion in such an anodyne message. We have no information, Lord Captain. The broadcast from the Footfall Astropathic Choir was the only missive Master Zachary has received lately. Okay, tell the Lady Navigator I give her leave to make the transition from the warp into real space. Vigdis begins issuing instructions. The massive ship appears to change with her every word. The bridge is set in motion as hundreds of people start to prepare for the shift to real space, and measured chanting fills the corridors to safeguard the vessel and its crew. One more thing, Lord Captain. No one at the station knows about Lady Theodora's demise and you inheriting the title. Liege Tokara will be informed and is required so he can use the dock, and besides, he is expecting a personal audience with the rogue trader, and he will not meet with an unknown person of unclear standing. However, there is still the matter of announcing your arrival. You can either visit on the station with the proper pomp and ceremony, or choose to visit it incognito. According to Footfall's unwritten laws, rogue traders enjoy special privileges that exceed even the power of the liege. However, not everybody chooses to take advantage of them, depending on the situation. Arriving incognito will give you more room for maneuver, while an official visit will allow you to directly intervene in local affairs. I shall explain if you do not mind. According to the unwritten rule, every rogue trader arriving at the station has the right to veto any of the Liege's decisions. But there's a catch. The Coronis Expanse is home to several influential rogue trader dynasties, and footfall is where their interests intersect. Of course, that does not prevent certain persons, namely Caligos Winterscale, from subtly pulling the strings in footfall. If you, as a new rogue trader, start your career with an official landing and a parade in your honor, the other dynasties may see this gesture as the newcomer challenging their spheres of influence. I do not see that as a bad thing, necessarily. Old Man Winterscale may take slight offense, Corda will be put on her guard, but you have just risen to prominence, and most people in the Coronis Expanse have not even heard about Lady Theodora's departure yet. It must be made clear that the banner of Von Valancius soars as high as ever. If I may, I would recommend arriving incognito. You will have plenty of opportunities to savor the sweetness and the burden of power, but right now is the last time you can take refuge in obscurity. This way, your arrival will not draw much attention, and the people will treat you as a person, and not the almighty sovereign anointed by the Emperor. It could turn some situations to your advantage. Okay. I will arrive incognito. It will be done, Lord Captain. With your gracious permission, I will return to my duties. Okay, this is where I crashed last time. Fingers crossed. Okay, think we might be alright. Alright. So I haven't really had a chance to look at the UI or any of this craziness. We have 35 health. We're armed with a marksman rifle. 12 to 15 damage, 3 penetration, 1 rate of fire, 15 range, ignores 20% of target's dodge, 5 max ammo, a single shot costs 1 AP. We've got some crack grenades, 25 damage, in a nice little cross section, 8 penetration, 2 AP. Okay. We also have frag grenades, which is less damage, less penetration, but bigger radius. So we've got, yeah, single shot, or we have to reload. Ooh, reloading. I like it. And so yeah, 5 shots before we have to reload, which is 4 AP out of 6, I want to say, based on maybe you get 6 AP every turn. That seems like a lot. Then we have a bunch of abilities. Look at all these. Wow. Study enemies, 3 AP. Increase the incoming damage of the first adept's attacking the turn against a studied enemy by the adept's int bonus. Flash of insight. Doubles the effects of study target and all adept's talents. For 1 turn, all allies gain half the benefits of adept study enemies and study defenses abilities. Precision strike from your second weapon. Medicaid training is out of combat. Okay. I mean, you know, a lot of stuff. That's the thing, you know, they throw you right into it. I don't know what level we are, but oh, here's the whole. So yeah, I mean, it very much looks like Wrath of the Righteous with a 40k coat of paint. But that's okay. That's very much okay. I couldn't really ask for something much better than that. Okay, light armor. We're level 15. Holy shit. Maybe this is not chapter 2. I don't know what chapter this is. We've got weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength, toughness, agility, intelligence, perception, willpower, fellowship. So obviously this is not based on Pathfinder. This is based on Rogue Trader, which I've never played. But these stats, from the little bit that I know of, like 40K, the tabletop war game, I think these are all just taken from that as well. The only 40K RPG I've played is Wrath and Glory, and I think that's pretty similar as well. So these stats are not out of the question. The problem is, of course, we spec'd into weapon skill instead of ballistic skill, so our character is not as good as she could be. We've got Pascal, who's a tech priest. He's got the Omniscient Axe and a plasma gun. Cool. Look at all these fun skills, though. Athletics, awareness, carouse, persuasion, demolition, Medicae, logic, lore, Xenos, lore, warp, lore, Imperium, tech use, commerce, coercion. Cassia. What the fuck is Cassia? I don't actually know. Argenta, of course. The Bolter, hell yeah. Adira. Sniper rifle, I like that. And Heinrichs. This Force sword. An Inferno pistol. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so there's tier 1 careers, tier 2 careers. Tier 2, you have to have 15 ranks in a class. So we could become an assassin or a strategist. Oh my, look at all these talents. Ooh, ooh. Okay, very interesting. Reputation with various factions. Oh, okay. She's a navigator. So yeah, she is human. But she's a mutant. Okay. The Adepta Sororitas, Daughters of the Emperor. And this, again, alpha. You know, alpha shit. Oh, she's a psyker. Okay, so yes, we have quite an eclectic group. No aliens in our party, although I can't imagine there aren't some in the full game. So this guy's an agent of the Golden Throne, interrogator of the Order of Xenos, right hand of Lord Inquisitor Xavier Calcazar. He is a sanctioned psyker in the service of the Holy Order of the Emperor's Inquisition. He's in relentless pursuit of a cult that threatens the Coronis Expanse. Yeah, so this guy is not a big fan of aliens. So I could see some friction there. Abelard. He's just like he's a seneschal. Or advisor. Okay, yeah. cargo management. Okay. Let's talk about things that may be useful to me as the rogue trader. Outline the situation in the Coronis Expanse for me. What do I need to know and keep in mind? This is a topic for an official briefing, not a casual conversation, but I will try to answer succinctly and, if you permit, in my own words. The Coronis Expanse is considerably removed from the heart of the Imperium. This means that local warp routes become useless within months, established trails are regularly subject to attacks from all kinds of rabble, and in the only major port, Imperial frigates find themselves moored alongside pirate vessels. Until recently, the Coronis Expanse could hardly have been called an Imperial region. The situation has changed with the arrival of the Lord Inquisitor, but not by much. This place operates under its own rules, you see, more radical, so to speak, but ones that allow for a non-standard approach where there is a promise of victory. The Coronis Expanse is considered rogue trader territory for a reason. Only rogue traders have sufficient military might, audacity, and the rights granted them by the warrant to survive the leap into the unexplored part of the Expanse, and in the event of a successful outcome, to hold on to whatever they manage to capture on the frontier. Who are the main players I need to be aware of in the Expanse? In the first instance, you should treat official representatives of the Imperium with respect. The Expanse may be on the fringes, but it still numbers among the territories of the Golden Throne. The arrival of the Lord Inquisitor has turned the Coronis Expanse into a less wild and uncontrolled region, to the regret of some individuals who had grown inured to the local lawlessness. Rogue traders such as yourself are also servants of the Imperium. They have been accorded special rights and powers, they wield immense authority within their territory, and they enjoy absolute respect in other parts of the Expanse. The most powerful of them are Caligos Winterscale and Incendia Bastal Corda. Tread carefully when dealing with either of them. If we are to speak of unclaimed territory, which is what Footfall is, among the scum that dwells on the handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector. The first is the Casbalica Mission, organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall and has links to rogue trader Winterscale. The second faction is an offshoot of our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of Saint Drusus. They are actively building their forces and hold influence over rogue trader Corda. And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are willing to die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars of the Coronis Expanse. And then something about our previous Master of Whispers that betrayed us. Okay, and he got away. Okay. Let's look at the map. Alright. Can't really scroll or zoom or anything like that. But we can move over to Footfall. Dock Alpha Row. Look at this map screen. Okay. Your ladyship, forgive me for not welcoming you with the appropriate obeisance. We were told that you would prefer to arrive on footfall incognito, and so we are trying to attract as little attention as possible. I'm here on the behalf of the Liege of Footfall, Lord Valideum Tokara. The Liege awaits the chance to speak with you at his residence, but if you happen to have other business to attend to, I can serve as your guide and tell you about the station. This is so familiar. Behind the amber-colored scattering of words of welcome, far less appealing hues lurk murky and diluted. The look of someone accustomed to lying and hiding their intentions. Someone's coming, and they're coming for us. Watch out, Lord Captain. Abelard sighs and casually places his hand on his weapon. Who's coming? Judging by their voices, there's a lot of them. Angry. They've got teeth, but they aren't that sharp. Their strength is their numbers. Pray, what are you talking about? What could you mean by such a cryptic Oh, shit!
Cries of mercy.
Okay.
Show them no mercy.
Oh.
How dare you?
Oh. Okay. Here we are. Yeah, the animations and frame rate, that's all a little rough around the edges, but alright. So, turn-based, which is awesome. It's not real-time with pause. I don't even know if that's an option, to be honest. I wouldn't... Oh, there is an auto pause, but I don't think you can have. I don't think it's real time with pause. I mean, I don't tend to play like that anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. But okay, we have a lot of options. Holy shit! So once you involve firearms to a major degree, you of course have to have cover. So I like that. So here we have full cover, half cover. Pascal's a melee character, but he does have his plasma gun. We also have crack grenades, which I think would be pretty useful in this situation. And he's got loads of skills. I mean, there's just a lot going on with like buffs and various things, but I don't think I want to rush into melee just yet.
As the tactical imperative dictates.
Okay, I want to throw this. I can't throw it quite that far. Shit. Alright, then maybe just plasma gun it. Okay. Plasma overcharge extra damage. Will overheat my plasma weapon for 2 turns. Can I only fire once? I see there's some... Oh god, there's a lot of them. Oh, I can hit here.
Cogitation fails.
No, I don't have line of sight on that either. Okay.
My comment.
Oh, I don't even have line of sight on... Okay. 40%. That is very low.
The Omnissiah knows all.
And I missed. Okay, so yes, I fired once. So you still only have 1 attack per turn. Despite having so many, like, AP. I guess we may as well study something. Yeah.
My value is deserved.
Alright, I guess that's it.
Brace yourself, Abelard. Pain and duty go hand.
Okay. I mean, that's not much damage. Okay, that's that's a little bit more. Boy, there's a lot going on. That's a lot of numbers for one shot. Just the damage. That's a lot of numbers. That's old school RPGs. Okay, so a psyker. We've got some, yeah, lightning arc. Fucking force lightning. Why is it 0%? I don't know.
Anything else? What an unfortunate turn.
Okay, clearly the 0% is not like... That's awesome, though. It's not like a hit percentage. I don't know what it is. Okay, Argenta. Yeah, momentum. I don't even know what that is. I have no idea.
Rejoice in battle.
Doubt I have a good shot here. Oh, okay.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Total hit chance considering dodge, cover, parry, deviation is 66%. Okay, so that is a hit percentage. Man, yeah, there's a lot of number crunching. It makes me giddy. But, you know, once I understand it all. Okay, so what then I don't understand then is why it shows 0%. When really what I think they meant was 100%. I don't think her force lightning could miss. Okay. Yeah, it's weird, this like slide thing they do when they dodge. Okay. So Cassia has frag grenade and a marksman rifle. Lidless stare. She opens her third eye. Anyone gazing into its depths witnesses the power and mind-breaking unreality of the warp. All creatures in a cone suffer damage equal to their navigator's willpower bonus. On a failed willpower test, they also become stunned, and an incoming damage doubles. It's a weird way to put it. The next damage they take is doubled, I assume. Oh, wow. It's very nice, but it spends all your movement points.
I am a navigator, not a learner.
Curse you, miscreant!
Oh, I hit myself. But still, it's worth it. Now we move. Even though there's no good cover anywhere. Here, I give a target ally a bonus turn with no movement points and action points equal to her fellowship bonus divided by 2. It's pretty good. But I feel like I need to move somewhere out of the limelight. Okay, you're not letting me move there? Oh, you... Oh, this gives it to an ally. I can't even give it to myself. Alright, then I'm pretty fucked. I shouldn't have done that.
That is foolishness. If I may.
Alright, so he basically gets an action point. And I gave it to a melee character, so great.
At your beck and call.
There, I gave him some movement. That's it.
High momentum.
Okay. All right. I mean, you know, we're getting the hang of it. Ow.
Breath.
All right, here we go. Melee goodness. So I can do power swing. If I wanted to move in here. I don't know if there's ops or not. Doesn't seem so.
I will do my duty.
Okay. Endure would probably be good in this position. Or I could charge. I wanted to charge at this motherfucker.
It will be done.
Okay.
For fun, Valancius!
Okay, so momentum lets you do big special stuff. So because I had so much momentum, I could do superior vigilance, which is a really good ability. But, okay, yes, I see. Fuck. Okay, I need to do something good. That isn't just studying enemies. I could throw a crack grenade here.
Running binaric override.
That'll do it. If I go over by Pascal, he could heal me at some point. That's probably what should happen. For now, I guess just chill.
I've suffered worse. One fewer target.
Fucking destroyed. Alright, I think... I mean, is there a reason not to do Lightning Arc? I mean, it takes all your movement, and I guess... But I could just move and then do it. But no, I think this position's pretty good. We also have Lightning Arc, Heroic Push. Ooh. Does more damage, hits more targets, ignores allies. And that's because of my momentum. I can also do Flash of Insight. If I could just fucking reach him. But I don't want to step out just to do that. So I think just shoot.
But of course. Be gone.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Say goodbye to your head.
Was that you? Or
Like, what is my problem that I just... Oh, I'm stunned. That's what happened. Okay, well, I'm... Yeah. Alright. Should I step out just to do a med kit? Or should I just start punishing these fucks?
I will bathe this battlefield in...
Or finish off that dude. Whoa, a lot of numbers and shit. Sure.
I'll do it.
Oh, God, this boulder. It's good. Military excellence immediately restores all AP and removes cooldowns from currently wielding weapon. From the currently wielding weapon. I don't know about that. The first attack against each target inflicts Righteous Fury. Gains extra attacks equal to the weapon's rate of fire without expending AP, so long as it's the cheapest attack allowed by the weapon. Increased chance... His chance? I assume they mean hit chance? I don't know, it's all good stuff.
In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave. I need targets, not guidance.
Fuck.
Doubt is for the weak. Faith without deeds is worthless.
There you go.
As the Emperor commands, I act. I need targets, not guidance.
There you go. God, how many shots do I get? Oh, I guess it ran out. It ran out. Yeah, pretty good.
Doubt is for the weak.
There you go.
I'll do it. The Emperor's judgment.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I'm sending him like rocketing backwards and then shoot him again as he's flailing. Feels good. Alright, honestly just shooting this guy right here would not be the worst idea.
Me. If you insist, Lord Captain.
Boom. Emperor, protect me. They killed. Every time. Nope. I warn them and then they go all, "Dear Emperor, our Lord and Savior, how could this have happened? Who could have thought?" Fear not, young man. We took care of the attackers. Do you know who they were? Your ladyship, those guys were Anvers. They're a gang. They're the worst. I'm telling you, they're scared of no one, not even Liege Philadeum. Does this kind of thing happen often around here? Shooting, yes. Attacks on nobles, not very often. Unless it's the Anvers. They're vicious. Not a week goes by without them killing and gutting somebody. They're wicked heretics. They respect nothing. They follow no rules. Go and report this to the liege. Yes, I'm sorry, your ladyship. I'll just go report to the liege. They killed her. They killed my lady. Oh, this is terrible. Okay. And then we get loot. Oh my god. A lot of scrappy auto guns. Which are all worth 0 PF. So I assume there's not much reason to really loot anything. Unless I wanted, like, an axe. But I think my gear is better. Although shotguns, I do like shotguns. What was really annoying with Porsche was that my main character was stunned the entire battle. But, you know. Oh, yeah. Stacking bodies with the black shoddy. Okay. Yeah. It's been an hour, so we'll leave it off here. Very interesting stuff. Actually, I feel like the graphics are... I don't know. It's set on high, but there just seems to be this roughness to... I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Well, like here, like you see how kind of rough this looks? Maybe it's just this like servitor skull, this like aura that just makes it look weird. I don't know. I don't know. You know, alpha is alpha, but yeah, that combat was pretty damn satisfying. I was concerned when I was playing through Pathfinder because I was like, oh, you know, how interesting is a 40K game going to be as far as like combat and character customization and development? Because, you know, when you take out magic and stuff and mythic paths and all this, like, you know, isn't it going to be kind of samey? But I forgot just how fucking satisfying guns are. Yeah, once you throw in bolters and stuff, it's never going to get old. And yeah, it feels kind of almost like XCOM or the Chaos Gate Demon Hunters or whatever it was. This like nice tactical cover-based combat. That's really awesome. And you still do have magic, sort of. I mean, you have psychers that can do force lightning, and you have all sorts of different special abilities. And yeah, so far I'm pretty pleased with what they've got going on here for an alpha. But we are, of course, going to keep playing. Do not fret about that. But yeah, good stuff. All right. I'm glad it didn't crash. My name is Mangg. Any watching has been Warhammer 40K, Rogue Trader, the Alpha. And I will see you fine folks in the next part.